my beautiful people. Wednesday inspiration and meditation day. And for a while I had to think about what I wanted to talk about, right? What was the subject going to be? And then suddenly I got inspired. And what I want to talk about, I actually think I have talked about it before, because it is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I started my channel. And I'm not talking about the readings per se, although they also are part of that, the subjects of my readings oftentimes. It's about the feminine energy, feminine strength, being in touch with your inner feminine. And for most of us, this is quite a big deal. And even if you think it's not, it truly, there is a collective wound of the feminine, which men also have a collective wound, by the way, but that's located in a different area of the body. It's the heart for men. For women, it's the lower belly, the pelvic area, the lower belly, that area. And this is where our feminine power, intuition and strength reside. And if that's damaged, not functioning properly, well, then we can't connect to our feminine strength. And it is really a collective thing, and at the moment in society, this is, we're busy harmonizing that, finding a new way with that, healing that, etc., etc. But that takes time, because for, I don't know how long exactly, of course, but thousands of years of oppression and, well, we all know these stories, I suppose, of the feminine principle. The feminine principle used to be equal to the masculine, but then patriarchal times came, and then woman was reduced to a arm candy, something you needed to have children with, and to cook and to clean your home, etc. We were not. The thing is, and in some countries this is still going on, in other countries, even Western countries, this is still, in some areas, in some countries, still really quite strong. It's still a thing everywhere. We were not allowed to speak our mind. We were not allowed to busy ourselves with the important things of life, like politics, or for instance, right, stuff like that. Our brains couldn't handle that. We were too stupid to have an opinion on that and to know anything about that. And if ever there was a woman, you sometimes see that in movies, right? A woman speaking up in a group when there is a dinner party or something, and then the woman speaks up and takes part in the conversation on politics, and then all these men, everyone falls quiet, and they're all just staring at a woman, and then when she's done speaking, she's feeling very awkward, and then she gets shit and basically told that she has to just shut up because she's only just a woman and she won't understand. She cannot understand because she's just a woman, basically stupid. And so we were also not allowed to express ourselves. All we were allowed to do was be pretty, depending on the social circle you were living in, of course. Just be pretty and shut up and spread your legs when the man wanted that, and bring forth his offspring. And of course, some people loved each other, right? But this was in society and steeped in society, and it has been like that for thousands of years. It's still not gone entirely. It isn't that long ago. It's just totally unbelievable to me, but it was, I think, until somewhere in the 20th century even, unbelievable, that a woman was allowed to go to the butcher and the baker and stuff like that, buy food But when I came to more important things, the more official things, like going to a public notary or the bank, get an insurance done, whatever, stuff like that, woman was not allowed to do that. She needed a written consent of her husband, and she had to show that, and otherwise she couldn't do anything, right? And even officially, even for buying food, she could be asked for written consent. But that was just generally allowed because of how else could the woman cook, right? If she couldn't buy meat and bread and greens. But, and that really isn't all that long ago. All this stuff, and of course also the sexual trauma that many of us have suffered in past lives, have caused the feminine, the women, to withdraw from that belly area, which is the area where normally the energy resides for you to express yourself sexually, but also emotionally. Your emotions are also there. It's also, of course, like I said, your inner strength, your feminine inner strength, your feminine power, and just expressing yourself authentically, all that stuff is there, and we weren't allowed to do that, so we withdrew from the area. Now, if you know a little bit about energy work and chakras, etc., go figure, think, imagine what that does to your energy system. Right? The effect of that can be that your energy, your awareness, your consciousness just leaves the area entirely and just shoots up to the top of your aura somewhere up there. Meaning your entire energy system is out of balance, is out of whack. And it also then, for the heart chakra, becomes more difficult to really connect and relate to other people, to you know, the love part, that part, which is also sacral chakra, but it's also the heart, both of them. And but then the heart chakra can't function properly either. So the effects of that is unbelievable, and we have lived that way for thousands of years, and we have to undo that now, right? And that takes time. And it does mean that most of us, of women, are still not really connected there. Still can't be in the area, in the lower belly, in the pelvic area. And especially if you, in this life, also have been victim of rejection, abuse, humiliation, maybe even violence, then that all that shit that is there, that memory, that fear gets triggered again, and then whoosh, your energy shoots up and you're gone there, right? And it's really, for many women, that area is just kind of empty or as good as, while our strength lives there. What we do, what we're best at, is there, and we are not there anymore. This is why I started doing what I do. I'm not certain if I ever actually explained that properly. The courses that I did a couple of years ago, and I probably will start doing those again in the near future, is to help women tap into that strength again, to start feeling it again, viscerally, right? Because that's how we do things. And I dare say I succeeded with the women who were in these courses I gave, to make them feel, to have them feel what it's like to be connected to that energy, because it's unbelievable. It opens you up, it softens you, it's just coming home to you, to yourself, in your body is wonderful. Also, sorry, hang about, because this I never said, I think. the name I use, Sparkling Diva, I suppose most people think that I mean me with that, but that's not true. I have worked an awful lot on my own feminine energy and strength, and that's how, a correct relationship triggered that interest in me. And so I've come a long way with that. Not to say that I haven't got work to do anymore, but I have come a long way with that. But what I want is to help create, help other women to also become sparkling divas. That's why I chose that name. It's not that I think that I'm a sparkling diva. I actually want to help other women to become a sparkling diva. So we have an entire group of sparkling divas. That's what was behind that name, and still is. And in any case, to give you an example, when I started around 2005 with my development, spiritual stuff, into intuitive development, etc., at some point I tuned into my belly, and I knew there was something there, because we had to do chakra meditations and cleanse them and all that stuff, work on chakras. And when we got to the navel chakra, they didn't do sacral separately, it was navel chakra. I had big problems with it. It was supposed to be orange, right? And I couldn't handle that at all. It reminded me of fire, and I saw fire, and I completely freaked out. I didn't want to. I was like, no, go away. I couldn't handle that. It was too much. And then someone told me, yeah, but you also have to explore the warming, nurturing, nourishing side of orange. And I thought, yeah, but no, I wasn't ready then, but that came later on. Anyhow, then at around that time, I tuned in to my navel chakra, my belly, that area there, and instead of seeing a wonderful, beautiful, nice round chakra shape, I saw a huge gaping black hole. And it wasn't round either. It kind of looked like something had exploded out of it. It looked horrible. And it's still now, 16 years later, the chakra that I work most on. And because I know it's so bloody important for us women, but because I feel it needs most work from all my chakras, the navel and the sacral chakra. So I do a lot of work on that, cleansing it, to get rid of all the crap that is in there, right? Soothing it and stuff. And the way you do that, I think I've said that before, you can do that with any chakra, is if you look at your hand from where you're standing, sat or whatever, it is clockwise, moving over a chakra, is cleansing. So when you look at it, right, from the inside out, then it's clockwise. If someone else was to look at you doing that, they would see you move with your hand counterclockwise. And the other way around is soothing it, smoothing it. And you first, of course, cleanse it. And you do that for at least 3 minutes. And then you go the other way. So if you hold your hand in front of you and you look at your hand, you then go counterclockwise, which is soothing it. So if someone else would then look at it, I would move, your hand would move clockwise. Yeah, I have to think about this as well. And doing that for a couple of minutes, choose one chakra, the one that you feel is the most important for you to do. Since we are talking about this, I would suggest doing the sacral or the navel chakra, and do that, cleanse it, and do that for 3 minutes at least. And and then the other way as well, to soothe it again and to smooth it, and to kind of close it as well. I always feel like, not close it from working or doing its thing, but yeah, I always feel like you make it kind of like porous when you remove the energy, and then you smooth that out when you go the other way. So that's really important to do as well. You can do that do that regularly. Then you don't have to do it once a month for 15 minutes or something. Doesn't have as much effect as when you do it a couple times a week for 3 minutes, of course, right? Makes sense, right? Anyhow, what's also important for women, because of all these problems, is to have a bit of an ego and to have healthy boundaries, right? And that ego bit, that ego is such a laden, I don't know, it has a negative connotation, but there's nothing wrong with ego. It's just that you have the lower ego and you have the healthy higher ego. And the lower ego, that needs to be healed. That is the ego with all the traumas and the issues and all that stuff connected to it, right? And the higher ego, the healthy ego, is actually really very good, because without an ego, we could not define where we are, where we end and the other begins, right? You need an ego for that, to feel like, okay, with you, my boundary is about a meter, your energetic boundary, a meter from here. With another person, it's 2 meters, stay away kind of thing. You need an ego in order to feel that, to define that. Ego has many functions. And the physical life on earth, we need an ego. Not the unhealthy, arrogant ego, which people always think of, oh, it's too much ego. No, the healthy ego. It's healthy to have ego. And we often, I think, have too little, because the problem with not being in your belly, you can have a problem with going there, being present there, having your awareness there, and your energy there, filling it up again, claiming that space again so you can be you. And is because then you will also, you can also encounter that pain. Because that needs to be cleared still, right? And yeah, if you don't go there, you can't clear it, you won't clear it. So that, and that can be very scary to then go there. Like when I saw my chakra like that, I wasn't too happy either. It's like that. I don't want to be there. A gaping black hole. I'm off. Bye. It's scary, and you can, but you can do that bit by bit. Because the thing is, I already said that earlier, right? Your strength is also there. And with that, there's another fear that can be there. The fear to be tall, stand tall, shining your light, to express yourself, to do what you came here to do, to speak your mind, and to be strong and powerful, and to claim your right to do that. And yeah, Marianne Williamson wrote that poem on that, right? I can't remember what it's called now from the top of my head. Something with love, but it goes about that we don't fear the dark, we fear our own light shining in our light and standing tall, and that fear is also there, but the power to handle that is there too. So it's also, it's all very important, and we can have a little bit of ego, so because then we also easier say no, right? Many people, especially women, I think, tend to say yes too often when it's not good for them, when it's not healthy for them. Sometimes you just have to say no, because saying no to someone else is saying yes to you. It's doing yourself good, right? It's love for you, for your heart. So so what I would suggest is to work on that area. To maybe you can just put your hands there on your belly, on your lower belly, And just breathe there into the area, your lower belly. Just calmly breathe into it. And feel your lower belly, the muscles of your pelvic area. Loosen your shoulders. Allow them to relax as well. Sit up straight. And breathe into the pelvic area, your lower abdomen. And just feel. Can you actually move in there with your attention, your awareness? It's like as if you have an lift that goes down from the top of your head, maybe even above, because there's also chakras there and maybe thoughts flying around. Like there is a lift, and here is your awareness, your thoughts, your busy mind, everything I was talking about, and then just in one go, just see if you can do that. Just take that lift down into your lower abdomen. How does that feel? How does that area feel? Does it feel soft, inviting? Do you now feel another chakra maybe? So I myself now feel my solar plexus. Maybe you have a similar thing. But just keep breathing into that lower abdomen. Feel the muscles soften of your vagina, your thighs, your upper thigh. Let all tension just flow away. Now maybe, and this is just spontaneous because I see it, maybe you can now see a beautiful flower that you put in your lower belly area. A flower that represents love and softness to you. Now it can be any flower as long as it has that connotation to you of love and softness, sweetness, feminine. Maybe you want to smell it. Maybe it has a lovely scent. Look at it. What color is it? Can be anything. Now gently, carefully see if you can place that flower in your lower abdomen. And if it doesn't work for you, then leave it there, maybe just in front of that area. You can help with your hands. You can try to move it into, let your belly energetically open up. And just place it in there. Now how does that feel? Because I can feel it open up from hip bone to hip bone. Maybe you feel something similar. Maybe something even stronger. Maybe you don't feel anything. That's also fine. There's no right or wrong when it comes to energy work, right? As long as you know that something is happening. Now if you close your eyes, you can just open them again in your own time. And keep seeing and feeling that beautiful flower there. nourishing you and bringing you love, which is often very much needed, right? Logical after all that I explained, but also your reproductive organs, your uterus, etc. They often also need that love, that energy, and so it's really good to do this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to bid you a wonderful Wednesday, a continuation of the Wednesday, and I will see you again Saturday with the pick a card reading. Bye.